The moment she stepped into the playground, the city's most powerful woman felt smaller than she ever had in a boardroom full of rivals. The swings creaked, children laughed, and sunlight spilled across bright plastic slides, yet her heart pounded as if danger lurked in the open air. She tightened her grip on her daughter's tiny shoulders, praying for an invisible miracle she had waited years to witness. She did not know that before the afternoon ended, a single ordinary moment would shatter the silence that had ruled her child's life and change them all forever. Before the story unfolds any further, pause for just a second. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet miracles that happen when strangers show compassion, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them most. She was known across the city as a force of nature, a self-made CEO who rose from nothing to lead a multinational company. Her name appeared on magazine covers beside words like fearless, brilliant, unstoppable. Investors feared her sharp mind, competitors respected her discipline, and employees admired her relentless work ethic. Yet none of them knew the truth she carried home every night. None of them saw how power meant nothing when she knelt beside a small bed, brushing hair from her daughter's forehead, whispering words that were never answered back. Her daughter had never spoken. Doctors called it selective mutism layered with trauma too complex to unravel neatly. Therapists tried, specialists promised progress, but silence remained their constant companion. The playground was not part of her routine. Her days were scheduled down to minutes. Her life lived in glass offices and black cars. But today was different. Today she had canceled meetings, ignored buzzing phones, and chosen this patch of open sky. Her daughter walked beside her, a small backpack hanging from narrow shoulders, eyes lowered as if the world were too loud even without sound. Other children ran past them, carefree and noisy, and the CEO felt the familiar sting of guilt. She wondered how many moments like this she had sacrificed to conference calls and profit margins, telling herself it was all for her child's future while missing her present. She guided her daughter to a bench near the swings, sitting close enough to shield her from the chaos but far enough to let her breathe. The little girl watched other children climb and fall, laugh and argue, her face calm yet distant. Her mother scanned the playground, alert despite herself, always assessing risk, always calculating outcomes. That was when she noticed him. A man kneeling near the sandbox, helping a young boy build a lopsided castle. He looked tired in a way money could not fix, his clothes simple, his posture gentle. There was no trace of impatience in his movements, only quiet attention. Something about that steadiness caught her eye. He was a single father, though she did not know it yet. His life had narrowed to essentials after loss taught him how fragile joy could be. The playground was his sanctuary, a place where his son smiled freely, where grief loosened its grip just enough to let light in. He noticed the woman and her daughter, not because of her elegance or status, but because the child stood so still, watching, absorbing. When his son ran off toward the slides, he rose slowly and found himself near them, not intruding, just existing in the same shared space. Time stretched in subtle ways. The CEO felt an inexplicable tension, as if something unseen were gathering momentum. Her daughter shifted her weight, fingers curling around the straps of her backpack. The man crouched down a few steps away, not speaking, not staring, simply making himself smaller, less threatening. He picked up a fallen toy shovel, brushed the sand from it, and placed it back near the sandbox. It was an act so simple it barely registered, yet the girl's eyes followed it. She took a tentative step forward, then another, drawn by curiosity rather than expectation. Her mother's breath caught. Years of careful strategies had taught her not to hope too quickly. Hope, she had learned, could be cruel. Still, she felt her pulse quicken as her daughter approached the sandbox, kneeling opposite the man with a cautious grace. He did not rush to engage. He began shaping sand with his hands, slow and deliberate, building nothing in particular, just a mound that invited participation. The girl mirrored him, scooping sand, patting it down. Two strangers sharing silence, connected by the simplest of actions. The CEO watched, frozen between fear and wonder. She wanted to intervene, to protect, to control the outcome, but something told her to stay still. The playground noises faded into a distant hum. In that fragile bubble, something extraordinary stirred. The man glanced at the girl, his expression open, warm, without expectation. He gently rolled a small toy car across the sand toward her, stopping just short of her hand. He did not push it closer, he waited. Her daughter hesitated, fingers trembling, then nudged the car forward again. It rolled back toward him. A silent exchange, a game without rules. The man smiled softly, his eyes kind, and shaped a tiny road in the sand. He pointed to the path, then to the car, then waited again. The girl followed the path with the car, her movements careful but purposeful. And then, in a moment so quiet it almost went unnoticed, her lips parted. The sound that emerged was small, fragile, barely louder than the wind. A single word, imperfect and trembling, yet undeniably real. Her mother felt the world tilt. Her knees weakened, her heart slammed against her ribs, and tears blurred her vision. She had imagined this moment 1,000 times, but reality was more powerful than any dream. The man froze too, sensing the gravity of what had just happened without fully understanding it. He did not celebrate. He did not react dramatically. He simply nodded, acknowledging the sound as if it were the most natural thing in the world. That was what made it possible. No pressure, no astonishment, no spotlight. Just acceptance. The girl looked up, startled by her own voice, eyes wide with confusion and fear. Her mother rose slowly, afraid to scare the moment away, and knelt beside her, hands shaking. She did not speak either. She let her daughter exist in this fragile triumph without overwhelming it. The playground seemed to hold its breath. The rest of the afternoon unfolded like a gentle dream. The girl did not speak again right away, but something had shifted. Her posture loosened, her eyes lifted more often. She played beside the man and his son, building roads and castles, communicating with gestures and occasional soft sounds that hinted at words forming just beneath the surface. The CEO felt a part of herself crack open, releasing years of pent-up sorrow and self-blame. She realized how much of her life had been driven by fear of failing her child, how that fear had built walls instead of bridges. When it was time to leave, she stood with her daughter, gratitude swelling in her chest. She wanted to thank the man, to explain, to offer something in return, but words felt inadequate. She understood now that this gift could not be repaid with money or influence. It had been given freely, born of patience and presence. The man watched them go, unaware of the magnitude of his role, believing only that he had shared a quiet moment on an ordinary day. In the weeks that followed, the change continued. Therapy sessions took on new life. The girl began to whisper more often, then speak in short phrases, her voice gaining strength as her confidence grew. The CEO restructured her life, delegating more, choosing presence over perfection. She returned to the playground often, hoping to see the man again, not to cling to a miracle, but to honor the connection that sparked it. When she finally did, their shared smiles spoke volumes. No grand declarations, just mutual understanding. This story is not about a powerful woman humbled by fate, nor about a man who saved the day without trying. It is about what happens when we meet each other without armor, when we listen without demanding, when we allow space for growth without fear. It is about the quiet heroism of patience and the transformative power of kindness offered without conditions. If this story has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to the channel so more stories like this can find their way to those who need them. And before this video ends, here is a special request. Please comment below with a single word that represents what you felt while listening to this story. Your words matter, and they help build a community of compassion. Sometimes the loudest breakthroughs begin with the softest sounds, and sometimes the people who change our lives are the ones who never know they did.